Hello, everybody, and welcome to Duval Thursdays. Yeah, you found the right channel. We usually do this AFC South show, but today we're focusing and talking all about things teal and black. Folks, my name's Curtis Brown. I'm the host of the channel and this show. Of course, I am a Texans fan, but for this, I will be as unbiased as possible. With me, as always, is our resident Duval. He's not a native, I guess, but he is a Duval fan for life, and
I was born in St. John's. It's like 5 minutes. It's fine.
hell yeah, basically grandfathered in. So you found the right place. Let's get into the teal and black. So free agency has officially begun. The Jaguars have, at this point, 6.43 million in cap space. Most of that, I assume, would be used for draft picks. They're probably going to have to create more just for the draft picks. But
Yeah, it depends on if we trade out of the first or not. Like say if we get to 24 and there's 4 or 5 guys still there that we really want. I mean, we could always draft back or trade back a little bit to the beginning of the second or maybe later in the first, and just depends. I mean, I assume they're gonna clear more cap space. I just think they want to they probably have at least 1 or 2 June 1st designations that they're getting ready for, but haven't made super apparent. But we'll see.
yeah, yeah. Are there any people that are on the fringe of the roster? Maybe people who are underperforming in the last year or two that could be surprise
So
cuts.
the problem with that is guys like Folorunso Fatukasi really didn't have a great season. He was hurt a little bit last year, so they'll probably keep him around. But like some of those guys, I mean, the problem is that they're owed a lot of dead money this year, and like next year is the year we can basically cut them with no problems. Um, I mean, I don't really have anybody right now that I see them getting rid of. Kind of what's hurting us is the 5th year option with Josh Allen, and then the franchise tag with Evan Ingram. Because those are both 11, a little bit over 11 million guaranteed each,
Yeah.
like fully guaranteed. So that kind of dropped us up a little bit, jumped us up a little bit more. They might be able to restructure Agnew to extend him by maybe a year or two, kind of spread out his cap hit a little bit. I think they'll probably do some restructures before they do some like major cuts or anything. Because kind of they got the people off the books mainly that were really big on the books. We just got to kind of, play it by ear and see what way it goes.
Last time we were talking about Juwan Williams potentially walking out the door, and he does in fact go to Kansas City. I
Who's
guess
that?
play. Yeah, exactly. Juwan Taylor.
Juwan Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs are insane. Why they paid Jawan Taylor $20 million a year to play left tackle, something he's never played before? I don't know.
Well,
Good for him. I wish
they
him the
lost their
best.
right tackle. Wiley's gone.
Well,
So I thought,
they said they're putting him at left tackle. They said they signed Jawan Taylor for him to play left tackle. That is an official statement by the Chiefs.
whoa.
That's why they gave him. That's why we couldn't compete with them, because they gave him 20 million. They gave him left tackle money. They didn't give him right tackle money.
Yeah.
I mean, if it doesn't work out, they can move him to right tackle. But yeah, I mean, it's just cool. You can give him $4 million a year more, and he can pay it all in state taxes because Missouri taxes out the ass. Um, you know, Whatever. I don't really care. He was great. I think he's good. I would really, at the end of the day, I would have preferred to have tagged Cam Robinson last year, and then just let him walk this year and kept Jawan Taylor around and paid him, 18 million or whatever the hell we were paying. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Jawan Taylor is better than, he's better, and he has better potential as well. Cam Robinson's semi-solid, but he gets against any sort of speed rusher and he kind of folds a little bit. I would rather just move Cam over to right tackle, because I think he'd be better right tackle anyways, to start Walker Little at left. But again, he's getting paid 20 something, 20, 18, 15, $18 million a year, whatever it is. And, they're going to keep him at left, I think.
Yeah.
They will probably draft somebody. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I could definitely see you guys drafting somebody, but as it stands right now, the only free agent moves or anything is you guys have re-signed Roy Robertson Harris, CJ Beathard, Evan Ingram, and Wingard, as you predicted, did come back on a relatively cheap deal.
Oh, really cheap
Um,
too. And Michael Hasty. Don't disrespect
oh, and
Michael
Hasty.
Hasty.
Sorry, he wasn't listed in the thing. I guess that
Yeah,
was a couple of days ago before the legal tampering period. But
yeah. He was him, Bethard, and Ingram were all signed and tagged before the legal tampering period.
okay,
Yeah, they brought back Wingard and no, Wingard's the only one they brought back during the tampering period.
okay.
Yep.
So with the remaining six, do you imagine that they have any wiggle room to get somebody else?
I mean, they definitely can. Cap is fake. I'm sure if they really needed to, they could get somebody to take a bonus and get some more money. I mean, it's at the end of the day, the players restructuring. People don't realize, of course, you're not just making money disappear, but you can spread money out. So I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of guys on the team that would take $5 million up front for the season because then it's fully guaranteed. Versus if they have an $8 million contract where they can get upwards of this much, they're already getting that check in their bank account and then they spread it out over the next season or two. There's definitely ways for us to make money, especially if they re-sign Josh Allen. If they were able to work out something with him long term, 4 or 5 years. I mean, I don't know at this point if I would do that or not. He just hasn't been who we wanted him to be, and if we did, it'd have to be something like 10 mil or under per year.
Yeah.
I just don't see him signing anything for that. He likes Jacksonville, he wants to be here, but he's not going to take that much of a hometown discount, quote unquote. But I mean, you never know. Apparently, we're in a bidding war with the Bears right now for somebody. So I mean, my thing is that's either going to be DeJuan Smoot or that's going to be Darius Slay. I don't see anybody else being who we're going for there, and the news just broke today, a couple hours after Darius Slay was released from the Eagles. So I'm sure who wouldn't want to pair Darius Slay with Calais Campbell? Good lord, with our boy Campbell down in Jacksonville and Darius Williams, have a nice little triple threat there. But I think it's more likely that it's going to be Smoot. The problem is I don't know why we're in a bidding war for Smoot at the end of the day. I mean, he's played well for us and everything and whatever, but he's coming off an Achilles tear. It doesn't seem like he wants to take the injury and hometown discount. I mean, we'll see. Jacksonville's an hour away from Darius Slay's hometown, so that also kind of makes me think maybe that's the case. But maybe Chicago's offering a little bit more, but with the no state taxes and being next to his hometown, he's probably kind of between the two if it is Slay. But there's still so many guys that are unsigned that we'll never know who they're really going for, and they might have convinced Orlando Brown to go back to right tackle. I mean, you never really know who it is.
Yeah.
The Bears need linemen. The Bears need corners. The Bears need everything. We need a couple positions. So realistically, interior / rotational D lineman, corner, and O line are my three biggest things where I think that's who it's gonna be for. So I think it's either going to be Orlando Brown, Smoot, or Darius Slay. I don't think it's like Calais Campbell. People want to bring him back. I love Calais Campbell, cool dude, mayor of Jacksonville. I don't want to bring him back. He's going to be 37. I mean, if he's going to play 10% of snaps, 20%. Like it's just not enough for me. I'd rather develop young guys or draft somebody.
Yeah. I think that's probably why he'll go unsigned for a minute and kind of sign with somebody who's in contention. Not necessarily to say that the Jags aren't, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when you think about it, it's definitely the Jags division with what's going on with the Colts and the Titans right now, and the Texans being in shambles.
See, I don't understand the move. I know this isn't the Tighten Up Tuesday or anything, but I don't understand the move. Like you let all these guys go, and then you overpay Arden Key 3 years, 24 million or whatever it was. Like, I don't see the correlation to overpaying a guy while cutting all these other people. It's like you could have just kept who you had or restructured them or extended them for probably the same cap hit you're going to have with him, and you probably get more production, honestly.
I mean, quite possibly, but Arden Key was probably the youngest edge rusher on the market that had any sort of value. Amenahu being maybe younger, he went to the Chiefs, but I mean, this is one of those years where the market's slim, and the top guys are going to get top guy money, even if they're
the market
not.
Kind of sucks this year, honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of trash right now. But this offseason is going to be crazy. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's I mean it's already been a kind of a crazy free agency with the trades and stuff that are going down, and people getting moved. Rodgers is basically confirmed to the Jets now. We'll just have to see what happens. But I mean, again, it's kind of another thing. Like I mentioned in our group chat, like Trevor Lawrence is up there. I mean, none of our teams in our division have the I guess the privilege, quote unquote, of having like a top whatever quarterback right now. And with people getting added in, I mean, just like Rodgers coming to the AFC, um, it's just again clearly more and more people. I mean, it's more and more quarterbacks, and the NFC is over there just chilling. Like, who
Mm-hmm.
do they have now? Nobody. Shoot, we got Jimmy G now too. Like, we got everybody. But again, I say we have the division, but you never really know. And the Texans are making a lot of moves.
Yeah.
That it's almost like we did. I mean, it's just like bringing all these guys in that are you're basically rebuilding through free agency, and then it could be 1 or 2 years, and the Texans are going to be where the Jags are right now, where you have a surprising season, or maybe you just barely missed the playoffs, and then now you're trying to develop the guys that you're drafting and everything. I mean, it's just right now that's what we're doing. I think that's why we didn't re-sign Key. We didn't re-sign Smoot. At the end of the day, letting those guys go in a bidding war. And we got some younger guys. We've got Deshaun Dixon at outside linebacker who came from I don't even know, Norfolk State, I think it is. And then we've got Jordan Smith at a UAB. Jordan Smith is 6'7", 265. And he tore his ACL last year, but he's actually starting to get some good reps. And then Dixon is literally, I mean, he's like the same size as Brain. Oh goodness gracious, he's like the same size as Trayvon Walker. He's a little bit slower, but he's really athletic. He's big. He's 6'5", 265, 275. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
So I think at this point we're gonna rely at linebacker and D line on developing guys. We'll probably draft some guys. I mean, like Balky said, we're trying to keep the core together. We're not trying to go out and spend big anymore. We're trying to develop the guys that we have. And if Jordan Smith turns out, that's going to be another player from that 2021 Urban Meyer Balky first year draft class. We've already got Cisco, Little, Campbell, all these dudes that are hitting. Lawrence can't really give them credit for it because they could have messed it up, but who would have done that? Then ETN, I mean, it's just another player to add. And then this year's draft is pretty solid. But yeah, we're just focusing on development at this point in time. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
not us spending big anymore.
Sorry. So I pulled up the PFF mock draft simulator, and for those who don't know, you can Google it. Um, I have simulated to the Jaguars pick number 25,
I wish they had that right, but
or 24, or whatever.
yeah, I think they still have the Dolphins having a pick or something. I don't know.
It's weird. Anyway, so I'm looking at the defensive interior players. You still have Kalijah Cansey from Pitt. Do you know much about Cansey?
Yeah, I know a lot about Cansey. He ran a 4.76 at the combine. He's strong. He's tall. He's athletic. He reminds a lot of people of Aaron Donald, but of course not quite the same. But he's a very athletic interior D lineman. He's a guy that you can rely on if he, there's those D linemen like, back in the day, Vince Wilfork, and nowadays you've got dudes that are, they're D tackles through and through. They're not rushing the passer. They're just plugging holes. He's a guy that can rush the passer from the interior and even be moved to the exterior if you need him to, at defensive end a little bit. Cansey, I would take Cansey at 24 if he's there, depending on who else is there.
Yeah.
But I can't see at 24. I would not be upset with.
Yeah, it says he ran a 4.67 in the 40.
Oh, 4.67. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I had
Shattering
those two backed up.
Donald's record.
Was it Donald that ran the 4.76?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I just had him backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, what he's 300. He's like 310 pounds, isn't he?
He's it says he's 6'1", 281.
Oh, 281. He's a little bit smaller. Okay.
He's a little bit smaller. He's 22, redshirt junior. And on the big board, according to PFF, he is number 13. God, where'd it go? Jaguars. Okay. My dogs are going nuts right now. Who else is available? Is I'm looking at Nolan Smith,
No.
Anton Harrison,
Mm-mm.
Zay Flowers. It still has
Mm,
Bijan Robinson here.
definitely not.
Michael Mayer,
Maybe.
Will McDonald the fourth, Josh Downs,
Ooh,
Daquan.
McDonald.
Yeah, edge rusher out
I,
of
I like I
Iowa
like
State.
McDonald. I wouldn't want to use it on another edge rusher as we've spent so much capital there, but at the same time,
Right.
he's really
They
good.
Daquan Jones
DeWan Jones, yep.
out of Oklahoma. So any of those guys particularly that you would be fond of? Can't see over all of them.
I would probably say Cansey. I don't really like the idea of taking an edge rusher in the first round when we have, two top 10, top 7, top 1, guys coming off the end.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure. I don't know enough about Will McDonald to say that we can put him in outside linebacker and let him rush the passer and drop back into coverage.
Yeah.
But he'd be a solid pick. But I think that Chancey would probably be the guy just because of how much versatility he has on the inside and being able to rotate at the D line. I just he'll probably put on 10 to 20 pounds when he gets to the NFL.
Yeah. I'm looking at the interior offensive lineman. There's Luke Whippler from Ohio State at the second round, 24 or 25, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's for corners, Garrett Williams out of Syracuse.
I like that kid out of Syracuse.
Hodges Tomlinson from TCU. Eli
He's
Ricks
good.
from Bama.
Give me Voorhees in the third, even with the trade up for him. That dude's a monster.
Yeah, and it kind of just sucks about his ACL.
Oh yeah, but he still came out and did 38 reps on the bench with a torn ACL.
Mm-hmm.
That's insanity. I want him.
He's an Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so here at 56 or whatever, because however the Dolphins are being picked.
Yeah.
What about what position would you want to go for? We got Tanner McKee still on the board. Don't really need him. Anduke Uzama from Kansas State.
That's an edge rusher, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an edge.
Yeah.
You got Dalen Henley, linebacker out of Washington State.
No.
Nathaniel Dell from Houston.
Dell. Nathaniel Dell. Is that the wide receiver?
Mm-hmm.
That's Tank Dell, right? That's his nickname.
Yeah,
Tank.
I believe.
Yeah, dude, I like Tank Dell a lot, dude. His route running and his burst in and out of cuts, he loses no speed in cuts. I like that guy a lot. I don't know how tall he is. He's a little short, but
You still got Sam Laporta out of Iowa, which is tight end university, and he is a tight end. Andre Carter the second. Joe Tippmann, the center from Wisconsin.
We have a center.
Yeah, but
unless we think he could. Yeah, but not everybody translates that well.
True, but it is what it is. Matthew Bergeron. I wonder if that's Ed Bergeron.
Bergeron, what does he play? He sounds familiar.
He's a tackle out of Syracuse.
Tackle. Nah.
I don't know. Maybe that's a good spot to maybe trade back.
Could be.
Well, folks, we're happy to titillate the brain and make sure that, the Jaguars hole in your heart is filled every Thursday. I think we're running out of time here. So, Isaiah, thank you for coming on. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button.
Hey, let's keep on being the number one segment on this Curtis podcast network because Jaguars fans are the best and you guys watch the most. So
true. Jaguars fans are crushing it. They're far and away the number one individual
Jaguars
team
Nation
specific pod.
Let's ride.
Oh God. Folks, be good people.